Hi everyone, welcome back. If you are new, hi, I'm Jody and I'm really glad that you've joined us today. Today is one of my favorite videos. It is Friday Face-Off Day. What is Friday Face-Off? It is a comparison type style video that I do every other Friday, and it's where we take two popular or highly beloved or maybe new products that are out on the market that the marketing claims do pretty much the same thing, and we put them on to see, do they do the same thing? Does one do it better? Do either of them do it? And is one better for your money? Today we are testing cream eyeshadow. e.l.f. has their No Budge cream eyeshadow, and Merit has recently come out with their Solo Shadow. Both cream formulas, both vegan, both cruelty-free, both say that they're long wearing and buildable. So we are going to put them to the test, and I'm going to do an 8-hour wear test to see how they hold up. You might be new to the channel and saying, Jody, I don't really understand makeup. Why do I need cream eyeshadow? Cream eyeshadow has its benefits over powder eyeshadow for a couple reasons. One, it tends to wear a little bit more forgiving on mature eyes, aka eyes with wrinkles, than powder. And that tends to be a good rule of thumb to follow for any other product when you're looking at a more mature face with wrinkles. Cream products tend to be more forgiving than powder. Powder products tend to show just a little bit more texture in the skin and settle into fine lines and wrinkles. Also, cream eyeshadows tend to be a little bit easier to work with, to blend, and when put on the right way, which I'm going to share with you today, can have a more natural look. Eyeshadow has been getting a bad rap lately. In fact, many trends are showing less and less of an eyeshadow look. And I know for me personally, I'm starting to wear less eyeshadow than I have before. And I don't like to use as many colors or shadows when I'm doing eyeshadow. I'm not into the more glam, intricate eyeshadow looks unless I'm going out for some special occasion. But on a day-to-day, everyday type of a look, I want maybe just a little bit of an eyeshadow to highlight or brighten up my eyelid area to make my eyes appear more awake, alert, or open. Or I might just want a little bit of dark in these outer corners just to give some dimension or shape to the eye. So whatever the reason you're wanting to wear eyeshadow, whether it's a lot of colors or less colors, is cream eyeshadow the way to go. And I think if you've got more mature eyes and you apply them the way I'm going to share with you today, then that's a better option. Now, which of these make the better product to put on your eye? That still remains to be seen, but I'm going to meet you on the other side of this intro. We're going to apply them together. I'm going to share you through exactly how I applied them, what other products I use with my eyeshadow to ensure a long-lasting look, and then we'll check in at about 8 hours to see how these two hold up. One is $5, one is $24. Is there a difference in the way they wear? Let's find out. All right, you guys, let's get these two cream eyeshadows on because I need a little bit of help on the eyelids. The first thing that I like to do when I apply a cream eyeshadow is I like to go in with just a round fluffy brush and then take a little bit of translucent powder. Whatever translucent powder you have, there's nothing special about this process other than I like to add a little bit of powder to help absorb any oil or any leftover moisturizer or serums and help keep in any moisture that might be coming through hot flashes or sweating throughout the day. Now you may be saying, Jody, you're applying a powder before a cream. Yes, in this instance on the eyelids, I do it that way, and I often do it that way in my foundation or my base look if I am going to be needing a long-lasting, locked-in glam look. I'll apply a little bit of powder and then the cream products. But for an everyday look, no, stick with sort of that mentality of cream set with powder. So if you're new to makeup, you're probably going, I'm so confused right now, and I totally get it. The net of it is, there's really no rules, and one doesn't really look or work better unless you are wanting something for a long, locked-in look and you have more oily prone skin. If that's the case, I like to apply the powder first and then the cream. So now that you're totally confused, let's just stick with this process that we're doing right now. So again, just a little bit of powder on a fluffy brush wherever you're going to apply that cream eyeshadow. Now I'm going to take a synthetic brush. I'm using the Angie Hot and Flashy A505. I love synthetic brushes for cream products. There's, again, no rules apply, whatever you're most comfortable with applying, but I find that more synthetic brushes like this A505 work well with cream products because they don't grab the product so much so that they don't deposit the product. They just glide very smooth with a cream product. First up is the e.l.f. No Budge Cream Eyeshadow. I have it in color Canyon. This sells for $5, comes in 8 shades, is vegan, cruelty-free, long-lasting, waterproof, buildable. I like to put that product just on the sides of that brush and then go through and scrape it along the edge or the lip just to smooth out that product so that I can avoid any clumping on the eye. And I have wrinkly eyelids, so sometimes people say, oh, I want to stay away from a cream eyeshadow because I have more wrinkly eyelids. That's not always necessary if you apply that powder first, and then we can go back and apply another light dusting of powder to keep that cream eyeshadow from settling into fine lines. So I'm just going to take the edge of that brush. Now when I'm using a cream eyeshadow, I like to apply that product on the outer corner first, because wherever you first put your brush down, and this applies for anything, whether it's blush, bronzer, you're gonna apply the most product. And I don't want a lot of product in the center of my eye or in that inner corner, mostly because that's what you see the most of, and more product is going to lead to more creasing. So if you put it in the outer corner and just slowly smooth that across. Now this is called No Budge, and as you apply it, you can see why it's called No Budge. It is a little difficult to move, so you don't get that creamy application. So I'm not a big fan of the formula in terms of the blendability, but if it doesn't budge, I will like it for that purpose. This is not a spoiler alert because we haven't tested it, but we will see what it looks like in 8 hours. So you can see that formula, and maybe it's because it's No Budge. It's a little hard to blend, so I'm gonna heat it up with my fingers and just move it to where I want it to be. So that Canyon is more of a, I'd say it's a warm peach color. It's really pretty. I'll add some eyeliner to that just to give it a final look. But if that stays in place all day, then that will be awesome. So that's what Canyon looks like. I'm not gonna bring it up past the crease of my eye. I really just wanna carve out that eyelid. And one of the reasons I love this A505 for cream eyeshadow is because that arch in the top, or that point on the top of that brush, really allows you to go in and carve out that crease and give you a nice arch if that's what you're looking for. And I like the width of the side, just again for the nice perfect application on eyelids. So that's what it looks like. It does go on nicely. It does take a little bit of work. It's not a smooth, easy application. If it lasts for 8 hours, then it might all be worth it. So now I'm gonna grab my other A505 brush because this one's clean. Next up is this Merit Solo Shadow Cream and Powder Soft Matte. I have it in color Studio. It's not an exact match for Canyon. It's a little more on the brown side, but no one's gonna be that close to be able to tell. This one also comes in 8 shades, sells for $24, is cruelty-free, vegan, cream formula, buildable, long wear. From a marketing perspective, both of these eyeshadows claim to do the same thing. I can tell already that this is a much creamier formula. I'm not leaving as much on the lid, so I love it for that purpose. Same thing, we're just gonna go out in this outer corner and apply it there first. Carve out that crease. Wow, that is really a smooth application, you guys. That went on so creamy and smooth. I didn't have to tug as much on this one as I did on the e.l.f. There's a big difference in the way those both applied, I have to say. Big difference, and I'm a huge fan of e.l.f., but if you were wanting to apply these with your finger, I think you would have the same amount of trouble. This one is just a little bit more of a drier formula than the one by Merit. That is just a very creamy formula. I can still move it around a little bit if I wanted to, where this one felt like it dried almost instantly and making it harder to move around and work with and blend out. Now that being said, it definitely feels like it's a drier product on my eye. Not that it's drying, it doesn't feel drying, but on the outside, touching it, it feels dry. This one is really creamy and smooth, and I loved how easy that went on. So right out of the gate, if we stopped right now, I would say hands down, there's no comparison actually. This went on super smooth. But the telltale sign is gonna see how long these wear. I'm gonna just take that same fluffy brush with whatever powder is left on it and lightly touch the top of these just to lock in that color a little bit. So in terms of the way these applied, Merit applied much easier from an application perspective. In terms of the final look upon application, I'd say they look pretty similar. And now we're gonna go through the day and see how these wear. So far I like the Merit a little bit better just because of the application process, but the final result is they both look similar. I'm gonna add a little bit of eyeliner. This is the NYX eyeliner, one of my favorites, the Epic Wear. And then we'll add a little mascara and we will start our day. All right, so there's the final look with a little bit of mascara and eyeliner. Now, you could apply both of these cream eyeshadows underneath your eyes for a eyeliner look as well. I just wanted a darker eyeliner, and neither of the colors that I have are dark enough to give me that outlined under my eyelashes look. So I just grabbed that eyeliner by NYX, and then I threw in some voluminous waterproof mascara. There again is the look after application. They look pretty similar. I am gonna film a beauty news update that I put over on Instagram and TikTok, but I sit back far enough that I don't think you'll notice the difference in the two eye colors. If you don't watch the beauty news updates, I do 3 to 4 a week whenever there's fun news happening in the beauty industry, and I post those over on my Instagram account and my TikTok account. I'll leave those right here so that you can see in case you want to follow me over there as well. It is different content that you see here on YouTube. Well, there you go, you guys. I'll see you back in between 7 and 8 hours and we'll see how these are. All right, you guys, here we are 9.5 hours later. I just realized how shiny I am, so I'm just gonna take that off a little bit so that we're not distracted by the high shine of my face. Where you want to look at these cream eyeshadows. So 9.5 hour mark, both of these claim to be long lasting, and I would say they are both very long lasting. The color application or the color payout that we got up on application is still very similar to the color that we have now. I don't feel like either one of them has faded, and the best part, neither one of them have settled into my wrinkles, and I have wrinkly eyelids. Now I typically get a little oily throughout the day on my eyelids, and I don't have that. Now remember, we did apply a little bit of powder and then the product and then set it with a little bit of powder. You may or may not have to do that. Maybe just a little bit on top to really lock that color in if you want it to last all day. They both were buildable, they're both long lasting, they're both vegan, both cruelty free, and both come in 8 shades. e.l.f. is $5 and Merit is $24. So for me, which one is the winner? Well, it really comes down to that application process. I love how long these both lasted. And if you don't mind spending a little extra time applying the product and blending that product and really working with it to get it to work, then the $5 e.l.f. might be a really good option for you. For me, I found it just took a little bit more time than I wanted to spend to really blend it out and work it out so that it didn't look patchy. And I like cream eyeshadows typically because of how fast they are. So when I lose the value of it being quick, it sort of loses the flair for cream eyeshadow in my opinion. So would I pay the extra $14 for the Merit above the e.l.f.? Hands down, I would. Typically, I say if products work the same, then go for the less expensive one. And I think they wore the same, but the application process was easier for me. So for me, it's Merit. This is the second Merit product that I have. I did review the Merit Cream Blush. I really do like that product as well. I've switched more to a liquid blush. They apply somewhat similarly, but that Hourglass liquid blush has become a new favorite. So if $24 is in your budget for a cream eyeshadow, I would go ahead and splurge and get the Merit. And if that's not in your budget, no worries. You still have a really good product in this one from e.l.f. I would just look at the application process and probably try it with your fingers. The warmth from your skin might give it a little bit more ability to blend and smooth out a little quicker. It didn't take an enormous long amount of time. It just took more time than I wanted to spend. Well, that does it for me today, you guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any Friday face-offs or any of the other content, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok for those daily quick updates that's happening all around the world of beauty. I will see you in just a couple days. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.